You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hello and welcome to episode 315 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Shawn as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hey everybody, it's Shawn.
And Leah.
And it's episode 315.
Wow.
Yeah. How excited are we to record this episode?
Definitely very excited.
And why are we excited?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Because it's almost cruising time.
Well, it is definitely only a few days before cruising.
Yes.
Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. For context, today is February 28th. This will come out sometime tomorrow on the 29th. Mm-hmm. Leap Day.
Leap Day.
Yes. And it would normally come out in the morning, but it's Wednesday night, so I won't have time to edit it. So probably Thursday after work it'll come out.
Okay.
So just for context, it's a little bit late.
It is. It is a little late.
But that's okay. We've been busy.
We have been. Well, we've been kind of lazy today.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
the weather's been terrible.
School buses were canceled.
Yeah.
We had flash freezing,
Yeah.
snowing and blowing, and it was just a nasty day.
Nasty day.
But yesterday was 10 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
Today was minus 15 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Tomorrow will be 10 degrees minus, and then Friday it's going to be plus 5 again.
Okay.
So it's all over the map.
Just in time for us to leave town.
That's right. We leave Sunday. Saturday. This coming Saturday.
We're flying out Saturday.
March 2nd.
Second.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the cruise starts on the 3rd.
Yeah.
Yes. It's my first cruise.
Yeah. And how are you feeling about that?
I was talking to a couple guys at work today about cruising and stuff, and they said I would have a good time, and it's very exciting, and lots to look forward to.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And you have told me that you really hope I love cruising.
Yes.
Because you love it and you want to go often.
Yeah, I love cruising.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get to see multiple places in one trip. And that's what I like about cruising the most, I think.
I could understand that.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we are going to Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Flying from Pellston, Michigan.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have a layover?
Yeah, in Detroit,
It's in
about
Detroit?
3 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but you know what? I really like a long layover when I fly because it gives you time for your earlier flight, like your first flight, to get there, and if they're late, whatever.
In case of delay.
Delays
you don't
and all
miss it.
that. You don't have to rush. And the other thing is, if you have this long layover, it's less likely that you're going to miss your connecting flight. And I've also been to the Detroit airport quite a few times, and it's rather large. And usually when you fly in from somewhere and you're sort of taking a connecting flight going somewhere else, you have to traverse the whole thing.
We did that, didn't we? When we went to
Yeah.
Disney last year.
Yeah, it's usually like on the other side of the airport that you have to boot it out the door. And who wants to do that? Nobody. I prefer the longer flight, the longer layover, sorry. You also have a chance to actually go to the bathroom, relax, get coffee if you want to. It's just not a huge rush, and that's what I like the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is bring the podcast recording equipment, and much like our Disney trip, we'll probably do a day's recap.
Yeah,
at
day
the
by
end of the
day.
night,
Yeah.
and then that'll be an episode
Absolutely.
for when we come back.
Absolutely. It's 5 days.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
5-day cruise.
5-day cruise, yep.
Grand Caymans?
Yes, Grand Cayman and Castaway Cay, which is the private island of Disney.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I'm sure our listeners are sick to death of hearing about our trips, but
That's okay.
that's our life right now.
Yeah, traveling.
And I've always wanted to travel, and I haven't ever really done it.
Yeah.
Of course, ever since I've met you, I've been to Florida. We've been to Detroit. We've been to a few places around Michigan.
Yeah.
In 2019, I did manage to go to the East Coast with Dad and brother, so that was good. So as I'm getting older, a little bit more traveling.
And we're not done. We have a couple more planned.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because for Easter, we're going to Milwaukee to see stepdaughter Dakota.
Yeah.
And then in May, something's happening.
Yeah, something, I don't know, something big is happening.
Yeah.
I think we're getting married or something.
Oh, yeah, getting married. That's right. That's
something.
right. So we were trying to think of what we were going to do for our honeymoon.
Yeah.
And we thought we would go to Hawaii because we're already on the west coast.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit further. But what we're going to do instead is probably rent a car in Las Vegas and then drive to maybe LA or Big Bear or
somewhere
Anaheim.
like that. Yeah.
Or we're just going to explore a little bit of California for 4 or 5 days.
Which I think would be a lot of fun. There's lots to do there. Walt's Original Disney, of course. There's Knott's Berry Farms. There's the San Diego Zoo. There's all kinds of... Oh, there's Alcatraz. We could visit Alcatraz if we wanted.
See the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah, absolutely.
All that kind of
Vintage shopping.
Yeah,
I know how you love your vintage stores.
Since we'll have a car,
Yeah.
we can look for all the junk along the way.
Right, but we have to fly home, don't forget.
Well, we'll just have to mail the good stuff to ourselves
That's true.
instead of putting it on the airplane.
Yep.
And speaking of getting married and anniversaries and leap day, February 29th happens to be your dad and stepmom's anniversary.
Yes, that's right. They got married on February 29th.
And
so this is their 4th anniversary, actually, because they only get one every 4 years.
Right, so they've been married 16 years.
Yes.
And when Dad was telling me that the other day when we visited him, he was prouder than a pig in shit. He still thinks it's hilarious all these years later.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't really have to, give her an anniversary every year. It's every 4 years.
Right, exactly. Yes. My brother Curtis, his daughter was born on Leap Day in 2000.
Okay.
So that makes her, what, 6 now?
4.
4?
No,
6.
6. That's right.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah. So that's kind of fun. And he said, you should have got married to my daughter on the same day. I'm like,
Yes, my dad did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
well, I guess I didn't think about it.
No.
But May 4th is pretty cool itself.
Yeah. May the 4th be with you.
And May the 4th be with you.
Mm-hmm.
And also with you. Yeah, or however it goes.
However it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. Yes. You know what? Let's play a promo for another podcast.
Okay.
Attention, people of Earth! Looking for a way to kill half an hour every week?
Try the Flopcast. It's a silly podcast about cartoons, music, comics, movies, obscure pop culture from the 70s and 80s, and chickens.
Join us! Bring coffee!
We're on the ESO network.
And we're at flopcast.net.
And how was that?
Pretty exciting. We're going to have to go and download some of those episodes.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
Very exciting.
Speaking of things that were exciting, we went to Sudbury last week, and you got your root canal done.
Yeah, I had a root canal done a little while ago, and our listeners might remember I had quite the cold. It was all in my sinuses, and I just couldn't shake it. And I think that's where this infection came from. It was really, really bad. So then I found out that I have a pretty high pain tolerance, so I really didn't realize that my back tooth was infected until it really started bothering me again. And so I went to the dentist, and she said, yes, congratulations, you have an infected tooth.
Yay!
Yay.
That does sound like good news.
Oh yeah, that's the best news.
So we had to travel out of town.
Yeah.
We had to go to Sudbury, 3.5 hours away, in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
So
we had to go to an endodontics. I think it's called endodontics. This is somebody who basically does root canals all day.
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's their job.
And how did it go?
It went okay. Of course, a lot of drilling, that type of thing. I don't know if everybody out there realizes if you get a root canal, first of all, they have to check and make sure that you don't have any cracks in your teeth. Because if you have cracks in your teeth and they go below the gum line, they cannot save the tooth. They actually have to, in fact, extract. So I did have a couple of cracks, but thank goodness they were simply superficial. They were able to save the tooth, and they just went ahead and did the root canal. But I also had to go for a filling yesterday.
Here in town.
Yes,
at
here in
least.
town, my dentist was able to do the filling, but now there also has to be a crown put onto that tooth.
So your tooth gets to be royalty.
Yeah, it's a royal tooth.
That's exciting.
It gets crowned. Yeah.
We'll have to go to Dairy Queen
Yeah.
to celebrate.
We'll have to find out Coronation Day and yeah.
Maybe go to Burger King or Dairy Queen. Which one do you want?
I don't know.
We'll go to Burger King for burgers and Dairy Queen for dessert.
I don't know. We'll see how I feel on that day.
Yeah, I've never had a crown, so I
Me
don't know
neither.
anything about it.
I don't really know what that all entails, but
I'm sure it'll be fascinating.
I'm sure. Yeah, we'll have to look it up online.
No, we won't.
No?
I don't think we will.
No?
I don't think we're that interested.
What if our listeners tells us, if they've had a crown done on their teeth before?
You know what? I'm sure this episode is already boring as hell for them. So I don't think they care about crowns.
No, I would be interested to know if anybody else has a crown on their tooth and what their experience was like.
They can let us know by emailing either an email or sending an MP3 to soulforgepodcast@gmail.com.
There we go.
Now, obviously, they won't because it's very rare when we get feedback. But you know what? We did get some feedback from Bill Lamont the other day,
Yeah.
and he sent some very lovely comics.
Yes, they were very interesting to see.
Yep. So that was very nice. It's always,
Thank you very much, Bill.
It's always good to get any kind of feedback.
Absolutely. We love to hear from everyone.
Yes. Anyone, really.
Anyone.
Yeah.
Anyone at all.
Hello?
Please.
Yeah.
Anybody out there at all listening to this?
I don't know. Can you hear the silence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the silence.
And speaking of podcasts, Paul and Dan and I, we recorded the season 5 wrap-up episode of Babylon 5 today.
Yes.
We've been watching that show for quite a while, doing a podcast that also nobody else listens to.
Okay, great.
And last night you were watching the episode with me.
Yes.
And it was the penultimate episode, which means the second last one. But it's really like the finale where they wrap everything up. And you're like, I haven't been following this show. Is it supposed to be an emotional scene? I'm like, yeah, it is. And that happened to be the scene that Paul had texted to say he was watching and he was crying like a baby. So
Okay.
we laughed about that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
Well, I'm glad I was able to be comical for you guys.
Yeah, you got to mention in the Epsilon 3 podcast.
Oh, wonderful.
How excited are you?
I'm very excited that I was mentioned.
It comes out in a few weeks from now.
Perfect.
So you'll have to listen to at least that one.
Yeah. I'll have to listen for that. Yeah.
I'm sure you won't, but so there's that. So yeah, so there hasn't really been too much else going on around here.
Well, there has been, but I don't think you want to talk about it.
That's true. It's a secret.
It's a secret. Yes.
Oh, maybe the listeners will have to wait till the next episode to find out what that secret is.
Oh, well, the next episode will be the day-by-day, the play-by-play of our cruise.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's true. And maybe there is no secret and we're just trying to get the listeners to come back.
No, there's a secret. There's
there?
a secret. You just don't want, you asked that it not be posted on Facebook and, for a little while because you have a collection of photos of this on your Facebook and you really don't want it mentioned right now.
Well, you've teased it, so now you got to talk about it.
No, I'm not going to talk about it because you don't want it broadcast. So that is another thing that is going on in our lives. That's something new and exciting. We can't share it.
We could if we wanted to.
That's true. But we'll leave everyone sort of guessing for now. So, again, that's something that we would like from feedback from everyone who's not listening to this podcast. What do you think the secret is?
And what else would you like us to cover topic-wise?
I have plenty of ideas, but he doesn't listen.
That's not true. You're just making stuff up. I was thinking for the next episode, even though it's going to be the day-by-day thing, maybe we should do like our take on religion because it's episode 316, and that's a religious number. So instead of the play-by-play of the cruise, we could talk about our religious experiences.
I'd rather talk about the cruise.
Okay. How about for an episode we could do a luck audit?
I'm not too sure that we really should be discussing religion. That's probably not a good topic to discuss.
I think I
Isn't
may
that
have
one of those.
It doesn't matter. It's a
Taboo.
podcast. Nobody cares. I may have discussed religion in I did a Thoughts on God.
Okay.
Somewhere in the 50s or 60s, I think.
You were alive in the 50s and 60s?
Episode 50s or 60s.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was born in 1957.
Were you?
Yeah, I'm old, but I look pretty good for my age.
You do. Very good.
Yes. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is really just a filler episode until the news of the cruise.
The news of the cruise. How about, pre-cruise? Let's talk pre-cruise for a moment. Have you started packing?
Actually, Renee, my good buddy, asked me the other day. He's been on the podcast several times. He's like, "Are you all ready for the cruise?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I just got to pack." And he's like, "So no?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm not ready." But I did gather up some shorts and shirts, and some sandals today,
And a hat.
and a hat, an old post office hat that's kind of crushed that I used to wear all the time. It's like a cowboy hat, but
It's a bucket hat.
it's a bucket hat. But it's pretty much destroyed. But it'll keep the sun off my head.
Yeah,
And
it'll do the trick.
If I lose it in the Bahamas or wherever the hell we're going, then
We're not going to the Bahamas.
well, it's somewhere around there, right?
We're going to Castaway Cay is located near the Bahamas, so
Yeah, close enough. Yeah. So if I lose it, it's fine
Okay,
because I have other hats.
maybe a seagull will steal it, or
Ooh, I hope so.
you hope so.
Yeah.
You hope that a seagull is going to steal your hat.
Yeah, and then you could take a video of it while it's happening, and we could post it on TikTok.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Because I don't think I'm going to have any internet service while I'm there for a week.
Yeah, it's quite expensive.
So not only am I going to go into internet withdrawals, I won't be able to post anything on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook.
Well, you go to the Starbucks in Grand Cayman and you leech the internet while you sit and have a cup of coffee, so that that's the reason you buy the coffee, though, is so that you can leech the internet for a little while.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Are we gonna launder some money?
If I had any money to launder, because we're going on all these trips and it sounds like we're loaded or something.
I know, right?
However, our credit cards would tell a different story.
That's for sure.
But lately I've had the attitude of, you know what? You only live once and...
living the YOLO life.
Yeah, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun and see what happens.
Well, money is meant to be spent. You can't take it with you.
No, you
when
can't.
you go.
No. So you might as well use it up.
Use it up. Have fun. Live it up.
So that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're not drowning in debt or anything, but
No. But we could be doing it a lot better.
oh, absolutely we could be. But what fun is that?
Well, it's no fun.
That's right.
It's
not fun at all.
I'm just going to count on my pension when I retire in about 13 years.
There you go.
Hopefully that's enough.
Yeah. Hopefully that's enough.
And hopefully whatever house we're living in is paid off by that point.
Well, speaking of pensions, we should kind of touch a little bit on that. Have you been saving up for your retirement? Do you have an RRSP?
I do have an RRSP.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not got a lot of money in it or anything,
Okay.
but it's there. And, it fluctuates up and down
Does
with
it?
the market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And whatever is going to be in my pension
Yeah.
and whatever the government gives me.
Right.
So
Your old age pension and your...
whatever that is.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but
Well, you would get CPP and then old age.
two different things?
Yes.
Okay.
As well as your pension from work, like your RRSPs. Whenever you start drawing on those,
Yeah.
yeah, you're hell bent on retiring early.
Not early. As soon as I can.
Exactly, early.
Well, I can retire at 60.
Yeah,
And
you plan on retiring at 60.
And I'm 47.
47. 47. 47. 47. 47. 47. 47. 47. 47. No!
Right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
47
47. 47. 47. 47. 47. 47.
and a half.
Uh-huh.
This walking and delivering the mail in all kinds of weather, I'm getting too old for that crap.
Well, and you didn't do that today.
That is true. We stayed at work for about 2 hours until they had the decision from headquarters or wherever that we could go home.
Yeah.
Because the mail was late and blah, blah, blah. So tomorrow's going to suck. But
Yeah, it's going to be quite heavy for sure for you guys. Because you have today's mail plus the phone book still.
yes, we've been delivering phone books.
Yeah, phone books. Listeners out there, those who are not listening to this, do you still use a phone book? And our mail carriers delivering this for absolutely nothing.
Luckily, they're a third the size they were when we were kids.
That's true. They have gotten thinner.
Way thinner.
But, we really should ask as well for ideas on what to do with these phone books. Because obviously we're getting them. So paperweights.
They'd make great fire starter.
Fire starter. That's a good, it's free. So you might as well use it for something.
That's
right.
That's right.
Let's see what else. To maybe level a table, put it under the leg and make sure that the table is level.
You know what? We could have used that when we were out to dinner on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
That table was pretty wobbly, even though we went to one of the fanciest restaurants in town.
I know. And did we talk about that on a podcast?
I am not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone, we did do a Valentine's date because this is our first Valentine's together. Many more to come, but this was our first one, and we went to dinner.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we said, what? Let's not get each other anything gift-wise because we're going on this cruise, and that's expensive enough, and then we're getting married, and we're going to Milwaukee at Easter.
Yeah.
And it's just trip after trip after trip.
Yeah.
And we got to pay off our credit cards, so let's just go to dinner and not buy anything else.
Yeah.
So we did that.
Yeah.
I was going to get you a card, but I never had a chance to stop at the store.
Of course. Right. Yes.
But you didn't get me a card either, so it worked out well. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's because you're not sentimental like that.
Not really. No, cards are fire starter or whatever. Cards, my second husband collected a lot of cards, and I really didn't understand it. Like, it's words written on a piece of paper, and that's great. It's a nice sentiment and everything like that, but they go in the garbage rather quickly, or the recycling. So I'm not too sure. I don't know. I don't understand why a card anymore. I give a lot of gifts without cards. I can write it on a piece of paper and fold it up, and there you go.
Yeah.
Like,
and I always used to say, don't get me a card, just give me the $4.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Or, write it in a book or something like that,
There's all kinds of options.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So where did we go and what did we eat?
What did where was it called?
So we went to the Mill Steakhouse.
The Mill Steakhouse, yes. Okay. And it's in the Canal District.
Yes.
By the Sioux Locks. And it used to be...
St. Mary's Paper.
Is that what it was? Yeah. It was St. Mary's Paper. It was the paper mill? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've refurbished it all. Instead of destroying these old, beautiful buildings from hundreds of years ago, they've made them into restaurants and different kinds of things. And you had a steak. I don't remember what I had. It was chicken Florentine or something.
Yes.
Was that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe. And it didn't look like it was very much food, but it was surprisingly filling. It was one of those fancy things you see on TV or movies where they pay $7,000 and it's like
really small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't $7,000.
No.
But it was fancy and it was nice, and they had a rose for you and
Yeah. That was really nice. I also had a glass of wine, which was nice.
Yes.
I was not impressed with our table though, because it was kind of
wobbly.
Yeah, it was wobbly, but also they kind of it looked like they moved tables around and sort of shoved them anywhere they could to try to make more seating.
Yes.
To accommodate more people. Like,
it wasn't very intimate.
No, and the table was too small.
It was very too small.
Yeah.
Very too small. Much too small.
We could not have the wine menu or the dessert menu on the table.
No, we had to put half the stuff on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not good.
It was very not roomy at all.
No, and then they asked if we wanted dessert, and we looked at the dessert menu, and a small little piece of pudding or something was $17. So we said, oh, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And then we went to Dairy Queen and got a Treats of Pizza.
Yep. And paid $17 to have a couple of days worth of dessert.
That's right.
That we shared with my son as well.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what's been going on around here.
Yeah, not really a whole lot. Just, some hustle and bustle because we are leaving for a week, and we're going to have some fun on a cruise, and I'm just very excited.
Yep.
Yeah.
Me too. It's going to be good.
You are not very expressive. Sometimes I have a really hard time finding out whether you actually like something.
You know what? You're not the first person to say that.
Yeah?
Yeah. My emotions are on the inside. Yes. And it's always been that way. I think it's a survival mechanism from being teased and beat up as a kid or something.
Well, it's really difficult to gauge your interest in things.
I'm very excited to be going on this cruise.
Oh, well, that's good.
I'm very excited to be spending the rest of my life with you.
I like that. But, it's just like if I mention, oh, let's go here, you're like, okay.
Your son's the same way.
Yeah, absolutely. He sure is.
Maybe it's a guy thing. Maybe it's me. I don't know what it is. But, yeah. Yeah, I've never been very expressive that way.
Yeah. Listeners or non-listeners out there, are you expressive? Do you get excited about things?
We want to know. soulforgepodcast@gmail.com. Yeah. Was there anything else we wanted to talk about?
You ask me that on every episode.
I know, because I can't remember.
Exactly. This is the thing, people. I have ideas. He doesn't write them down. He doesn't remember.
Well,
so,
we're going to have to do this one of these days.
Absolutely. Write them down.
Write some ideas
down. Yeah, it's a good idea to write it down because we're old and forget. So.
Yeah, and forgetful. It's true.
Exactly.
Yep. So, other than that, I think we'll go to bed now. You're yawning as we speak. After work sometime tomorrow, I'll edit this up and get it out there. And then a day or so later, we'll be heading away for our fancy trip.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's exciting.
Absolutely.
Even though I don't express it, I'm excited.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes. So, listeners, I hope you enjoyed this very rambly episode. And come back again in
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
for the exciting conclusion where we talk about what happened on the cruise. But until then, take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, you're not hungry, you're thirsty. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links, and don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge Podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.